What's up, India?
Couldn't see your finger when you did that.
What's up, India?
I saw it, but they couldn't see it.
Okay. Welcome to Movie Community College.
We're here to talk about MS Donnie.
Dhoni.
Isn't that what I said?
No, you said Donnie. It's Dhoni.
The Untold Story.
Right.
I saw this film maybe the beginning of 2017. I was excited to see because I did the trailer reaction when it came out.
Right.
In 2016. Then I was going through Netflix like that, and I saw it. And I said, "Oh, I remember that." And so I watched the movie, and I really liked it. It had Detective Bocce in it that I really enjoyed.
He's playing Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Yes, and I thought, this would be a good one for the Bollywood Top 100. And the only other cricket film you've seen was Lagan. Correct. Which means we hate the British.
I think it means taxation, right? Or taxes.
A third or three times, whatever it was. What did you think of the movie?
MS Dhoni? Mm-hmm. It was incredible. It was spectacular. Mm-hmm. So we saw a few familiar faces in this film.
We saw half the crew of Special 26.
We did see...
maybe this was like the... what do they call it?
The sequel?
The prequel. It's the prequel to Special 26. This is how they all met.
So, yes, we saw Anupam Kher, who played MS Dhoni's father.
He is... one of my favorite actors. Yeah, he's one of my favorite actors.
He's a great actor. Yeah, I really enjoy him. We saw, I am forgetting his name, but the man who played Banerjee, the coach. Remember when he first started playing cricket?
Yes, he was.
He was also in Special 26.
Yes, he was. He was.
So yeah, we saw some familiar faces. There was another man who I think played his boss. And was it the coal company?
Yes.
And he was from...
What did we see him in?
He was in Airlift. And, there's another film that he was in.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, so we saw a few familiar faces, so that was pretty neat. It's cool that we're starting to be able to recognize different actors and actresses.
Well, and I think it's also, too, I think it speaks to the depth of what we're learning about the Indian film industry because... we're now on secondary, third characters that we recognize.
That we're recognizing from other films.
That's SRK. Oh, look, that's your friend Khan.
Everybody should recognize them.
That we're getting into sub-levels of characters.
Exactly.
And there's some great hidden talent there.
So this was just spectacular. Even if you don't know anything about cricket, which I know next to nothing about cricket.
I am cricket.
I know...
Here, wait, you hear that? Chirp, 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 chirp. Bowling is cricket.
I know baseball. And I know football, what we call football in America, not soccer. I love those two sports. I know them inside and out. I don't really know much about cricket. You don't have to watch this movie and to appreciate the story and love this film. Okay, so a little bit of a backstory about you and I with this film. I knew that you had seen it, last year. Mm-hmm. And I knew you loved it. Mm-hmm. And we have so many movies to watch. We have hundreds of requests every week where people are saying, watch this, watch this, watch this.
And okay, I'm going to write it down.
What I tell people, and our friends will recognize this from the comments, is that I will add it to our very long list of must-watch films because our list is massive. Mm-hmm. So when we pick a film to watch, we're going off of this list, and you have often said MS Dhoni is a great film. We have to watch it sometime. So we knew we would watch it eventually, and we did watch it last weekend. Wow. So you had watched it, and you said, I said, do you want me to watch it by myself? And you said, no, I'd like to watch it again. So we're watching it, and we're at the point in the film where he meets Priyanka.
Priyanka Chopra?
No. And you say, oh, that's going to become his wife. So they're on the airplane, and she doesn't recognize him from the cricket team. And she's all excited because she sees another player who's her favorite. And she's like, can you please get me his autograph? And he's having fun with this because he realizes that she doesn't know that he's, on the team, basically. And so you're like, yeah, this is going to become his wife. So I'm watching, and I'm all excited. I'm like, oh, this is cute. We're watching their relationship develop. And it comes around to Valentine's Day. Bam! And at this point, you're sitting next to me on the couch, and we're watching. And we're watching her drive down the street. Bam! And then through the passenger side window, we're seeing the truck coming, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting ready to recoil in horror because she doesn't see the truck, and you don't either. You're sitting right there with me watching a film that you have seen already. And so, boom, the truck hits her, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
My ear.
And you go, oh. And I said, you've seen this film before. Didn't you know this was going to happen? And you're like, yeah, she dies. I'm like, what do you mean she dies? You just told me like 20 minutes ago that she's going to become his wife. And you're like, yeah, I forgot. I paused the movie because I'm like, I was aghast. Like, this is a major plot point in the film.
I watch a lot
How
of
do you
movies.
forget that? That's like saying, oh, he's a cricketer. I forgot. How do you forget that she died, that she does not, in fact, become his wife? So I unpause it. We carry on with the film. And then eventually we get to the point where he's in the hotel and he meets Sakshi, who really does become his wife.
Yes, and she has
and
no
she
idea.
has no clue who he is. And everybody else there knows who he is, but she has no clue. And so she's doing her
That's
job.
how we met. You had no idea who I was.
Okay.
All your friends did. They're like, oh, that's the professor.
They're like, maybe you shouldn't marry this guy.
They weren't like that at
So,
all.
So
you better.
anyhow, she's doing her job properly, and he has fun with the fact that she doesn't know who he is. And so eventually their relationship starts to, deepen, and you're like, yeah, this is who he marries. I'm like, okay, yeah. You said that about the last girl, so now I don't really believe that he's going to marry her, but he does.
This is a great movie, even if you're not a cricket fan.
I said that already.
Because this is the struggle of a man mastering himself.
Right.
This is the eye of the tiger. This is a man who says, I am going to compete at the highest level my species generates, and I'm going to dominate it, and I'm going to give myself to the process. And it's inspiring. It is because sometimes natural ability isn't enough.
Right.
Sometimes you have to go through things and take it to the next level. And
not everybody makes it to a professional level in sports. And you could see he had this huge amount of talent, but still there were always things holding him back from making it. And so he was starting to, I think, despair of, am I really going to be able to realize my dream?
I was an athlete in high school, and I remember
So was I.
When I worked with the Sikhs, we had a customer who was a big, large black man. And he was probably 6'8", 300 some pounds, and he was playing part-time for the Rattlers, which is a semi-pro football team.
Right, an arena football team out here.
And I said, what position are you? And he said, I'm a defensive lineman. And I said, what's your 40 time? And he said, 5'2", which is pretty fast for a big dude.
For a big dude, but
Yes.
in general, not very fast.
But it's pretty, well, my 40 time was like a 4'9".
Which would be faster than a 5'2".
Well, yes, it's faster, but it's not, a 4'2" puts you in the pros.
A 4'2".
Yeah, right. And that's 4.2 seconds, right?
Right.
And I looked at this guy and said, this dude is this big and that fast, and he doesn't make it to the pros? Like how big and fast
There
are these guys?
are limited spots on
yes.
these teams. Right.
And so you see the process. You see him giving himself to the process. And there's something very beautiful, I think, when you submit to the process and you change. And I'm going to share something. It's an American author. He's one of my favorite authors. His name is Thoreau. And he had a quote, and I think we can apply it to our lives. We can apply it to India. You can apply it to your lives. And he says, what is your dream? What is your dream in life? Whatever it is, just take a moment and think about it. You have it in your mind, okay? Now he said, make daily decisions in your life to achieve that dream. Don't worry about if you get there or not. The fact that you're making daily decisions to move towards your dream, you have everybody else beat. Because a lot of people just dream and talk and they don't do anything about it. Do it because you don't know what's going to happen. Dhoni said to his Papaji, just give me a year.
Well, this was after he quit his job at the railway. So I was going to get back to like his family life. I love the interaction with him and his sister, Jayanti, I
Did it
think was her
remind you of
name.
you and your brother?
Somewhat, because I am older, and I did look out for him and look after him, and sometimes try to get him in trouble because he deserves it. But ultimately, I loved him, and so I loved their interaction, and I loved that though he didn't want the path for his life that his dad wanted for him, you could understand why his dad wanted that path for him. His dad wanted him to not have to struggle the way that he did. And so he could see that, okay, I understand you have talent playing these games, but, you have to be realistic and you have to, have some education and get a good job, because his dad was a realist. His dad recognized that most people don't become famous cricket players. And so his dad was able to get this job for him, and his dad was super excited. And he submitted to his father's will, though he himself was already an adult. He honored his father's wishes, and he stayed at that job for a couple of years, though he didn't really like it. He submitted himself to it. He was disciplined, but he still pursued his passion. And then when he finally realized, I can't do both, and he quit that job, his dad clearly was disappointed. But he said, just give me a year. If I don't do it in a year, I'll take a job again. And of course, he did. He was able to do it. And it was neat to see his dad then coming around when they're all kind of watching, the cricket games and whatnot. It was neat to see his dad coming around. So, fantastic film. Loved it.
I liked the idea of how they told the story, because it was him inserting himself into a cricket game, a match, critical point in the game, and he as captain is like forcing his way onto the field.
Yes, right.
And while he's doing it, it's all flashback.
I love when films do that. I love
it was really good.
Yes, I love when films
really,
do the
really good.
flashback style of storytelling. It's great. So
it was really good. I mean, this is a good film. This is a good film for you to, what is your dream? Pursue it. Pursue it.
Everything about this film was spectacular. Everything.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And he's a
Other
good
than
actor.
the fact that Priyanka
He's a
died.
good-looking guy too.
Yeah.
I felt a man crush
Much
developing.
better when he cut the hair again.
Yes,
the
I
long
know.
hair. As you know, I'm not a fan.
You're
of
not
that.
a fan of long hair.
No. So I was very glad to see him cut that hair again.
As you can see.
So final grade?
A.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, just a normal A. I'm not going to go crazy with AAA. Just a normal A.
Yeah.
It's worthy of the top 100.
Absolutely.
And it's a good film. I think that if I would show this film to your brother.
Oh, certainly.
Because
my
he'd
brother
be like,
loves sports.
Cricket. I know, but
Yeah,
what?
but he loves
and
sports,
he would
so
watch it and he
I
could
agree.
relate. And,
Yep. Oh,
because we were
certainly.
baseball players.
Yep, absolutely. So, if there is somebody watching who has not seen this film, you need to watch
Yeah,
this
it was a good film.
It's on
It was a good
Netflix.
film. Yeah.
Take
Good
the time.
film.
Great film.
All right. Please like and subscribe, yo.
Please.